Hello guys, and welcome back to the Battleground series. I'm finally back. I had an exam phase and yeah. Um, Also, if you're here to complain about the lack of videos other than the Battleground series, they are getting uploaded next week. Yeah. I just want to finish the Battleground series because then I have one less series to take to make, and so the other series can get there faster. That's the main reason behind that, and yeah, I hope you guys understand. So in today's episode, what we will be doing is essentially we will be going over, as I said in the last episode, all the module scripts and basically making them work better, functioning better, so they just work, because the stun module and stuff, they don't even work, so that's a problem. And yeah, so that's basically what we will be doing today. And then once we got this set up, we can finally go into the grab moves and stuff and everything you guys asked me about. Yeah, so that's basically what we are going to do today. Okay, let me just open this. Alright, so let's go ahead and open up our modules folder in the replicated storage. And then we want to start with first our ability module. So yeah, this module basically goes over all of our abilities and makes them work. But we can probably apply some fixes here and make this run even faster and even smoother. So there are some easy fixes we want to apply. So the first fix would be in our cleanup, we want to just make a variable called local was visible. We want to set that to buttons.visible, and then we want to do buttons.visible is equal to false. And then after we do all this, we want to do buttons.visible equal to was visible. So what that does is it essentially just hides the buttons from like changing. So it looks like a bit smoother and better. So that's essentially what this does. And the next thing is that we want to do some changes in here, because we want to get our local name, which is going to be equal to our item.name, and then our local class name, which is going to be our item.class name. We can just call this class, the class name. We can do if the name, and we can do if the class name, if the class is equal to a UI grid layout, like this, or if the class is equal to a UI corner, like this. That is what we can do. But I also would change this to have an and then doesn't equal, because that is just faster, because now every requirement has the same flow. So we want to have ends everywhere, so this just is faster and doesn't have to consider the or, so it just runs a bit faster and cleaner. So that's one thing we can do. And yeah, then we also want to do isn't equal to a template, and the class isn't equal, and this isn't equal. Then we want to do item destroy. Then we can also remove this here, so it's way faster. Yeah, that's the main thing pretty much. In this script here, so a quick recap. Also, yeah, this is misspelled here. This should be visible. So a quick recap what we did here. We are now checking if the button was visible, and we are then setting the buttons to false, and then we are setting them back to if they were visible before. We do this so you don't see the buttons changing in the beginning, and this just makes everything cleaner and smoother and just easy on the eyes pretty much. And yeah, the next thing to take into consideration is this abomination down here, because we can do some stuff to drastically decrease how big this function is, how big it looks, and how like much space it takes up, because this is just incredible how much space this takes up. Yeah, we won't need this much space pretty much. So we will apply some fixes there. And yeah, let's just get started with this. So the first thing we want to check is all of our variables here. They are good, but we want to have a few more variables. So I'm gonna do local alt active value, which is going to be equal to player and the child alt active, and then local alt active is equal to alt active val and alt active val dot value all false, and then local move set is going to be equal to alt active Alright, so I just had to go for 1 second. But what we want to do is, if the alt is active, then we want to have character info table.alt, or we want to have character info table.moveset. .alt.moveset. That's it. Okay, now once we got this, we also want to have the what's visible as well. So I'm just going to copy this. I'm going to paste this down here again. There we are. Then I'm going to do... I'm just going to scrap the whole thing here. So what we want to do is we want to do if for underscore move in pairs move sets, we want to do if the move dot keybinds isn't equal to the alt key. Where do we have the alt key? Oh yeah. Alright, so we have to go up here. We have to get the alt key. So local alt underscore key is config.normal keystrokes dot alt. There we go. So then is equal to alt key. Then we want to do local clone, local button, local clone is equal to templates clone, then clone.name is going to be equal to move.keybinds, and then clone.layout order. Why is it so weirdly auto-completing stuff today? No. Why is it completing? Why is it completing my autopills with when pressing space? It doesn't make any sense. Well, so once we have the order num, what we then want to do is we want to go ahead and do clone with the child's ability name. dot text is equal to move dot ability name, and then object keybinds, just like that. Then you want to do clone.parent is equal to buttons, and clone.visible is equal to true, and then clone.forwardchild activate with a child's click dot enabled is equal to true. Just like that, pretty much. And that's basically the whole thing. And then what we want to do is buttons visible is equal to what's visible. And there we have the first module script revamped completely. And yeah, then we can go ahead and test this out. So I'm gonna hit publish and I'm gonna go play the game. And we can see if this works. So let's change our character and see that our moves changed. And see that they just change again. Street Fighter, Metal Fists. Now then let's farm our ult. Pretty quickly. Press X and you can see they also update. So this module script works perfect and is faster and has less bugs now. So that's what we want. So the next one would be apply damage. There is not much to change there, but there still is something we can change because there are some security, like where security doesn't work. So what we want to do, because the player we don't need them, so we can just use an underscore file. We get the character and the damage. Before we want to do this, we can just delete the whole thing. If not hit character or the damage is less than or equal to 0, then you want to return. And then the local hit num is equal to hit character, then finds not hit num hit hump. Find first. Why can't I complete this? So we find the first child, which is a humanoid, and then if the hit humanoids and the hit humanoid.health is bigger than 0, then we want to take damage, and that's the whole thing. So this is the this was it pretty much for this module script as well. So then we can go to the apply knockback now, because this has some flaws. Okay, so for this module script, we have to change some stuff. So the overall thing is looking good. So this here with the new, we just have to keep this because of course nothing there is really off. But in the calculate mass, we can change some stuff. So we want to be sure that the outcome here is also a number. This just makes it better. Then we want to assert the model, and that is looking good. That is also good. And everything here is looking very good. Yeah, that's very good. So in the construct, we want to do some stuff. So we need to get the enemy, which is the enemy character. Then the character, which is of course our character. And then the primary, which we don't have. So let's get the primary, which is going to be equal to enemy character.primary parts. Then we have the local character primary is equal to character primary parts. And we actually don't need those two. I want to check if not primary or not character primary, then return ends. Then the next thing is local mass is equal to self colon calculate mass and then enemy. And then local impulse, no, not. Why is it auto-completing this? I hate it. Why did they do something like this? So the impulse is going to be equal to, don't forget the brackets, character primary, dot c frame, dot look vector, times self dot underscore range plus the vector 3 dot new, and we want to do 0 and then self dot underscore height and then 0, and then this times the mass. And then what we want to do is we can just delete everything here. Then primary, set nets work on a nil, and then apply impulse like this, and we don't need this line here. So we just apply the impulse, and that is essentially it. So now let's try this out. So let's publish this to Roblox, and then let's try if this works. So now, once we are in game, we can check the knockback. So 1, 2, and he flies off. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and he flies off. So this works. Let's try an uppercut. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Okay. For some reason, it didn't do the uppercuts. Let's try again. Okay. Might have to fix some other modules as well. So then let's go to our next module, which would be the Hitbox module, and do some changes here as well. Actually, in this module, we don't have to change anything, because this is like the Hitbox module is pretty good. Yeah, it's pretty solid. I'll just change the transparency to 1 from now on, so we don't have to see the hitboxes. I'll just do that, so we have yeah, we don't see the hitboxes, and yeah, it's pretty good. Yeah, that works. All right, so then what we want to do now is you want to get on with the stun module, since the stun module doesn't work. It doesn't work. I'll just completely redo it because yeah, it just doesn't work. So local stun module, just like basic. So I got this. Then local function creates highlight parent, which is an instance, and a color, which is a color 3. We make this, and highlight adore me is also going to be equal to the parents, and then task dot delay 0.2 comma function, if no, not this, if highlight then destroy. So let's check. So we get this. Let's get the outline transparency to 1. Yeah, this to occlude it, and that should be it. And we don't have to do the full color. Yeah, outline color, I mean, we don't have to do it. Alright, so then let's make the next function. Function stun module stun4. We get the character, small, and the duration, which is a number. Then local humanoids. And then if not humanoids, then return basic stuff. Then the local original speeds is equal to humanoids walk speeds. Then we do humanoids walk speeds is equal to original speeds times 0.2. And then we do character set attributes can dash set it to false. And then task.delay duration. We add a function to this, and then if humanoid and humanoid parent, then we reset those two. Then next function is function stun module hit effects, or dot hit effects, which gets character as a model, then the animation ID, which is a number, question mark, and then highlights enabled, which is a boolean, also question mark. And then lastly, we should have the animation enabled, which is also boolean. And then, yeah, for the hit effects, if highlight enabled, then create highlights with a red color. Then if animation enabled and animation ID, then we're gonna get a local animator. Well, first we're gonna get our humanoids and then our animator. Then if animator, then our animation, track and playout track, and then the next function is gonna be function stun module dot apply stun and effects. I'll just completely copy the function over because it's very easy. So we have the character, the duration, animation ID, highlight enabled, animation enabled, just as above. And then we just do those two. And then the last function is hit effects blocking. So that's the only thing we need. So now we can publish this to Roblox and then go play. And as you can probably see, when we go ahead and try to punch someone, it doesn't work. Attempt to index number with find first child. What? Attempt to index number with find first child. Let's see. So in our stun module, in the stun for, oh, dot stun for, sorry. Yeah, dot stun for. That should work. Let's try. Yeah. 3, 4. Oh yeah, let's try the blocking one. Works. Let's go in here while blocking, and yeah, you can see it also works on us. It's good. And the red thing also works, and you can see it's very hard to escape. See what hits. And yeah. Alright, but somehow this doesn't get reset pretty much. So we are still stuck in infinite slow walking. I'll get back 1 second. Alright, so the only function we really have to change is this the stunt for, because that wasn't really good. So what we want to do is we want to delete all this. Before here, we want to do our local stun count, which is going to be equal to our character get attributes stun count or 0, and then yeah, our original speed is going to be equal to, we also want to do some attributes here, so we want to do our attributes original walk speed or humanoids dot walk speed, and then if stun count is equal to 0, then set our original walk speeds. Then we want to set our walk speeds to our original walk speeds times 0.2, and then we want to set our character. Our character's attributes can dash to false, and then character set attributes stun count, and to set it to stun count plus 1, and then class dot delay duration, and then a function. If not character or not character dot parents, then return, and then we want to do a local current count is going to be equal to our stun count or 1, and then current count minus equal 1, and then we also want to set our attribute again, and then if our current count is less than 0, then we want to get our local stored speed. It's going to be equal to our character get attributes original walk speeds or 16. We want to apply this, and then we need to set our can dash, our stun count, and our original walk speed, and that's it. So that is it for today's episode as well. Thank you all for watching, and see you in the next episode. And yeah, if anything did work out for you, let me know in the comments. And yeah, thank you for watching, and see you in the next one. Peace.